All right, ghoulies, here we are again. We're back in the laboratory. It's been a while, and Professor Spring really left it a mess in here. But we got to get going on a new scientific experiment, and we're going to experiment on you ghoulies too, because we're showing the movie Blackenstein. I believe this was made in the 70s during a time that a lot of blaxploitation films were made, including Blackula, which was a much better picture that we wish we had on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater. Unfortunately, with Professor Spring's nudie bar budget, it's hard to get anything too good here. But, it's a very interesting time period the movie came from. When I was a young ghoulie watching movies at the Roosevelt Theater, Blackula had premiered, and my parents had to drop me off there alone, and I was the only ghoulie there amongst the black audience. And at that time, Frank, who was also the editor of the Happenings magazine now, he used to display Dr. Destruction's artwork in the lobby of the Roosevelt Theater. Well, the audience that night at the first premiere of Blackula were very friendly to Dr. Destruction, and it was a very good experience overall. They did appreciate my artwork, and it was one of the very, very most interesting experiences I had at the Roosevelt Theater. The movie Blackula actually is a very, very good picture. It's one of the better Dracula films. You might want to check that one out. But of course, we've got Blackenstein, which is, it's a little awkward, it's a little strange. It has some interesting parts, mixes some funky music with some classical scores, and it's got some interesting concepts. It does borrow a little bit off of the $6 Million Man sort of idea, as you shall see. And, I'm getting a little worried here. I haven't seen Graves for a while. Do you know where he is?
He's out with Candy again.
He's still out with that Candy girl, huh?
Yes, they're at that fireman bar again.
Oh, I noticed something was going on when I seen that Candy girl with that red stuff in her hair. She wasn't doing that until she started hanging out with Graves. But anyway, ghoulies, we got to get going on this experiment here because we've been having trouble with this monster. He's been on ice for a long time, and we're going to be moving on with the experiment later on in the show. And I will finally probably be able to prove what a scientific genius I am. Later, Persephone perhaps will be back with some top 10 Frankenstein films, and we'll be talking about some of the appearances and things like that. Now, you've got to keep checking the website for those contests. I don't know if you've been doing that or not, but you've got to draw Professor Spring and send in your picture if you want to be considered for the big dinner party show coming up very soon. I know we've been talking about it, and it's going to come up on you. Also, we're going to have some very special guests soon. I think Mr. Jeff Hackbarth will come on the show and talk about some of the DJing he's doing at Club Anything. But, this experiment is really troubling me a bit, and I think, I'm going to have to finally prove myself, because I've been classed a charlatan in the world that previously had held me a genius. And now here, in this godforsaken jungle hell, I will prove that I am all right.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, you keep it up, and I'll never take you to the dungeon again. What are you doing with my hat? I can't believe it. Anyway, ghoulies, as usual, all kinds of problems on Crimson Theater. And, you're getting a little sassy there. I think it's all that naughty mail you're getting. Huh? What's the problem over here?
I don't know. Maybe it's getting to my head.
It's getting to your head. I'm going to be upstaged on my own show yet by Persephone. By the way, ghoulies, I hope you are checking that little postage stamp size advertisement that is in the Happenings magazine. You can keep updated with things that are happening on Crimson Theater. And you keep checking that out, and we'll keep checking you out. Anyway, ghoulies, I don't know, I guess it's time for tonight's feature, Blackenstein, on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where you're always having a good time until, somebody comes along and gets more mail than the doctor. All right, you go watch that movie. All right, ghoulies, I'll tell you what, for that guy not having any arms or legs, there seems to be a lot of bulk underneath that blanket. I don't know what's going on there with that. And, he's in pretty bad shape. And how about that nasty character messing with the poor guy? Guy has got to be insane. But anyway, ghoulies, well, we got some more letters for you. We got to get into this here before we get into this enormous scientific undertaking which we are about to embark on. Anyway, this one is, Dear Dr. Destruction, that movie you shown last week was frigging phenomenal. I never laughed so hard in my life. That Ape and Jerry Lewis wannabe were great. Maybe it was the Mary or the 2 cases of Scheisterbrow I had prior to the show. Always wondering if you were related to the Hives bass player, Dr. Matt Destruction. No, I don't know what's everybody's using my name, and that Diva Destruction too. What's up with that? Trying to copy the doctor like that. I guess I should be flattered though, really, you know. I won't take it too hard. Anyway, because there's a slight resemblance, but you are much uglier. Thank you. I hope you had a great birthday party. When is your birthday? Mine is on the 25th of July. Your loyal ghoulie, John. Well, of course, mine was on the 28th if you happen to stop by and celebrate it. There was a pretty good time over there. You know, there's a few unneeded interruptions, but we took care of that pretty dang quick. Anyway, let's see. Oh, boy. Would you like to read this one?
Yes.
Okay, you read this one, and I'm going to mess around with some stuff over here.
It says, Dear Persephone, you should host Crimson Theater naked. So everyone would watch, and we should get rid of Professor Spring and Dr. Destruction, and then we can have Mr. Graves and wait on us. You're so sexy. You're sex slave forever, Biff.
You know, what are you up to here? Are you trying to take over the show on us here? I've been noticing they're featuring you more in that magazine, you know? What's going on?
I don't know, but about hosting Crimson Theater naked, I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe on Crimson Theater Gone Wild. What do you think?
Maybe.
Oh, there's a maybe here.
Yes, a maybe.
Oh, boy, I bet you our ratings just went skyrocketing through the whatever. Anyway, okay, we got a few more here. They're very short. And, oh, boy, here we go. It says, oh, here we go again. Persephone is a goddess. What more can I say? Wipe up drool, you pigs. Love the page setup is nice. I guess he's referring to the website. I don't know. I haven't seen that lately.
Those are from the guest book.
Oh, they're from the guest book on the website. I never see the website because, you know, that Professor Spring, he hoards that thing to himself, you know, and I don't know what's going on. Is it okay? Have you checked it out?
Yes, it's very
you
nice
have
layout.
the access. Okay. You know, a doctor's going to work on getting the, what do they call those things? Commuters? Oh, computers?
Computers.
Oh, okay. We don't want any commuters. They just get in Dr. Destruction's way when he's trying to drive peacefully in his hearse down the road. And again, you know, Milwaukee, lay off the eggs. I'll tell you what. Okay. This is from the Nocturnal Lord. Oh, isn't that heavy? Oh, he's from Milwaukee, too. Nice. We're getting some nice letters from Milwaukee. We got some real nice ones a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, we can take the abuse. Comments. I just want to say the show is great. And keep up the good work. Oh, we plan to keep up the good work. I wish we could do a little better work in the laboratory, but usually Professor Spring handles those things, and, well, you all know what's going on with Professor Spring. But now, since so many of you viewers want to see more of Persephone, we're going to let her read the top 10, and you start from 10 down. I don't think there's any more you need to know, and I don't know, there's some problems over here. You go right ahead. I got to see what's going on.
All right, this is the top 10. Number 10 is Frankenstein Conquers the World. Number 9 is The Evil of Frankenstein. Number 8 is The Bride. Number 7 is House of Frankenstein. Number 6 is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Number 5 is Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. Number 4 is Son of Frankenstein. And number 3 is Edison's Frankenstein, made in 1910. Number 2 is Bride of Frankenstein, where the monster speaks against, who is that?
Oh, that's Boris. Oh, you don't know who Boris Karloff
sorry.
is. Now, that's not, you know, that's going to get you some demerit points on Crimson Theater, but that's okay. Boris Karloff is the original Universal Frankenstein, then most of the masks, pictures, and that sort of thing that you see is Boris Karloff. Yes, he was very reluctant to do Frankenstein as a speaking role. And they were a little more comedic with that portrayal of Frankenstein.
That's my mistake, I'm sorry.
That's okay, you know.
And of course, number 1 is Boris Karloff in Frankenstein.
And who's that again?
Boris Karloff?
And who's Boris Karloff?
He's Frankenstein.
Okay, you got it right now. Things are shaping up on Crimson Theater over here. Yeah, Boris, you know, I'll tell you what, Boris wasn't the original choice for Frankenstein. They wanted Bela Lugosi to do it, and he turned it down because it was far too degrading for a big star like him, which turned out to kind of get him on the bad side of Universal, and they pretty much burned him after that. And, why they didn't cast Frankenstein and Dracula in the same movie together shortly after that, I don't know. I suppose things all worked out for a reason, and, neither one of them might have had a break if it wouldn't have been for the untimely death of Lon Chaney Sr., who was scripted to play both of those parts. And that would have been quite interesting to see, but I don't know, looking in the retrospect, I think that fate stepped in and that I can't see anyone else being Frankenstein, and I can't see anyone else definitely being Dracula. Bela Lugosi truly is Dracula, even though he did a pretty good version of in Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, as he played the monster. He brought an evil to the monster that Boris Karloff never quite conveyed. And of course, Lon Chaney Sr. was like the Phantom of the Opera, and of course the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the lost London After Midnight, which is probably, probably one of the most impressive visually pictures that we have today of Lon Chaney Sr. Anyway, ghoulies, I guess you got to get back to this movie. You gotta love a movie like Blackenstein, just for the for these producers just to have the guts to do something like this. Are you yawning again on me? I think you're developing a bad attitude. We're gonna have to send you to reform school. And you know who works over there? Lampini works over there. I don't think you want any part of that.
No, I do not.
Okay, I don't think so either. But anyway, ghoulies, you gotta love a movie like Blackenstein. It's pretty awesome, and we're gonna get over, into this experiment here, because this monster, he's been kind of stinking up the castle, and we really got to do something about that. There's been some other stench back there. I don't know what that's all about. You never know here at Warner Cable what's going on with the stench. Anyway, ghoulies, we got to get back to tonight's movie, Blackenstein, on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where you're always having a good time, and you might need a little Afro Sheen for this one. All right, ghoulies, it looks like that monster finally got animated there. I'll tell you what, how about some of them lab scenes there? They look pretty interesting, but I think this monster in this movie is kind of a woman hater. I don't know what's up with that. You think, in the funky 70s he'd be trying to score instead of, destroy the poor girls. But anyway, can you check the voltage on the oscillating defibrillator there? Ah, very good. I think we better kind of check this guy's heart rate here. Oh, wait. Oh, now why are you treating me like a gorilla?
Because you're acting like one.
Well, I'm sorry. I got carried away with that letter, I'm sorry. I got a little excited there on the Crimson Theater. Can you blame me? I bet you guys don't blame me a bit. Anyway, okay, we got more letters. Speaking of letters, these just came running in. I don't know. It's a new, postal agency, Nightlinger Express or something like that. Maybe you've heard of them. Okay. Oh, confidential. So should I read it, ghoulies, or should I keep it confidential? I don't think we have any secrets on Crimson Theater. We will air our dirty laundry if we please. And if we air Professor Spring's dirty laundry, you better have a bigger screen. Dear Doc, I feel that it's my duty to tell you that there is a big conspiracy currently in motion to kick you out of the castle and take over Crimson Theater. Watch yourself around those sidekicks. Trust no one. A little birdie. Okay? Maybe that's that little yellow bird from the Dorian Gray movie. You know what I'm saying? You know anything about this, Persephone?
No, I know nothing about such things.
The servants always bring the house down. I can just imagine where this is going here. A little trouble. Dear Doc, who are those bands from Milwaukee you were talking about a couple of weeks ago? Why not have them on the show? Are they 20 years old? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, I just noticed that the Nerve Twins just had a gig not too long ago, and there's some old buddies of mine. We used to kick it over at the Unicorn back when that was going on, and hey Gus, what are you doing these days? But anyway, yeah, you know what? If any of those 20-year-old underground bands from Milwaukee would like to reunite, and maybe we could do a big show or something in Milwaukee, like a reunion or something, because the Milwaukee scene was pretty cool. We've got some very cool flyers up here from bands like, the Oil Tasters, the Amadots. Where are you guys? We miss you major. Okay, and I know Fly is still up to something. And you never know. Maybe we'll have to go check out Trash Fest this year, which I've been a regular with Trash Fest for a while. And that's where you do find some of the the underground bands of Milwaukee, still getting together for special occasions and things. I think they are doing something. But if any of you guys out there would like to relive the golden years of such places as Starship and Zax, which we're all a big part of, maybe some of you might remember Dr. Destruction's other band, the Pink Godzillas. We did play at Zax and the Starship, at some pretty cool times during the underground period. But we'll definitely work on that. If any of you guys are out there, please contact Crimson Theater. Even if your bands won't reunite, maybe you could come on the show, share some demo tapes with us or memories of those times. There was some good era, the Cramps, the Damned were playing the Starship around that time, and there was a lot of good bands out of Milwaukee. And again, I said, whatever happened to the Tense Experts? They were pretty tense on stage, very cool. I think I seen them with Joan Jett or something at the Palms. And that's another good place that used to have some great bands. And, that one DJ used to kind of focus on some of those guys. But anyway, ghoulies, here we go. Oh, my God. I'm beginning to get out of it. I'm getting a little upset here with you. I don't know. I tell you what. You give someone a big break, and the next thing you know, they take over the whole show.
Oh, this one says, Dear Persephone, when are you going to dump that clown you're with so we can monkey around? Ralphie, your biggest fan. Oh, enough with the Ralphie letters. No, I do not want to monkey around. I don't like monkeys.
You don't like monkeys?
No.
What is the matter with monkeys? It's just Ralphie monkeys, perhaps.
Yes.
She just doesn't like it when the guy is hairier without the ape suit on. Okay, dear Mr. Graves, I'm gonna have to read Mr. Graves' letter. He's still with that Candy girl. What are we gonna do about him?
Find a new servant?
And you know what else is strange? He comes back from being with Candy, and his head is all red. And now she's got the red in her hair. Candy, what are you doing anyway? Now, pay attention and pour that drink right, okay? Otherwise, Randy's going to get upset. Okay, dear Mr. Graves, what's up with Candy? See, inquiring minds want to know. I thought that we were going steady. You two-timer, Sandy. So Graves is a two-timing stud, huh? I don't know. I caught you looking at Graves a couple times.
I'm not into bald men.
No, you don't like the skinhead crowd then, huh?
No.
Okay, well, Mr. Graves,
I think we just lost the skinhead crowd
I
then.
guess, 2 out of 3 ain't bad or something like that. So don't let your meatloaf. I'm sure you're not. Anyway, I don't know what we're going to do with this monster. I'm going to have to adjust the combobulating defibrillator over here and maybe the combobulation of the trifibulation. You know what? I'm going to input your media. I'm going to control your tabulator. I'm going to wire you, baby. On Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where you ought to get a jolt out of this one. Now, go watch that movie. All right, ghoulies, how do you like that Frankenstein, Blackenstein feature? It's pretty crazy, but we're going to be getting on with our own experiment here. I think it's time for you to adjust the knob on the combobulator audio generator simulator. All right, ghoulies, we've come to the end of this horrible nightmare Frankenstein, Blackenstein film. It's pretty awful and pretty terrible, but that's the kind of thing you come to expect on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater. But anyway, ghoulies, you know, it might not be a bad idea for you guys to check out some of the films that we can't show on Crimson Theater. And parents, I would encourage you to get your little ghoulies together, perhaps. Maybe get the original Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, and you know, get together and watch them with the kids, maybe. And in between movies, you know, maybe watch them on a full moon, go roast some marshmallows in between the movies and stuff. You know, to get the atmosphere, or you know, so you can check into some of the films that we cannot show on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, unless, of course, anyone from American Movie Classics would like to have us host their Halloween shows this year, you know. So if anybody's watching, you know, we've got a pretty good idea for you. Have Dr. Destruction, Persephone, and the rest of the cast on American Movie Classics. That's if she survives the night here with this awful monster. Anyway, ghoulies, a lot of the original Frankenstein films were inspired by German Expressionism, from movies like Cabin and Dr. Caligari, or maybe Edison's Frankenstein also. I don't know if that was in the Expressionist category. You know, sort of, I guess not, from my advisor over here. Anyway, you know, definitely check out some of those movies we cannot show. And now remember, keep checking those websites. Now we're waiting for more of those pictures of what you think Professor Spring looks like, so that you may win a seat at our big dinner party show, and that's coming up very quick. So you better get that going on. We still have tickets available for the Doomsday Show, for the 13th email that mentions the Doomsday Show. Okay, we made it a little tougher for you because some of you just ain't getting it yet. And you know, I mean, it might take a little education, a little time for you to really understand Crimson Theater. Also, we still have that issue of Scary Monsters magazine. We're going to give that away. It's autographed by the entire class. And hey, did Nightlinger autograph that one too? I guess even Scary Monsters' own Dick Nightlinger, the famous author, has also autographed that issue, which you want to keep. All the Scary Monster magazines are very good, by the way. And I don't know about that monster. I guess I failed a little bit with him. He's run off somewhere with Persephone. And all I can say is, you know, despite his ugly looks, at least he does have good taste. Anyway, ghoulies, I guess that's all we have time for, unless I failed to mention something. All right, yes, everybody wave goodbye. Anyway, ghoulies, I'm sorry the experiment went bad. And, you know, Milwaukee, that guitar solo is for you. And we love you, Milwaukee. And we still love you, Kenosha, too. Now, keep checking the website and keep checking out Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater. So have a horrifying week, and we'll see you next time on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where we're always having a good time. See ya.